Hello Internet, my name is Vic, and this is my 5 months on T update video. So before I get into it, I just want to talk about these guys, Rare Clothing Company. I'm going to put a link to their Instagram and website down below. But they are trying to get off the ground, and they've got some pretty cool shirts and hoodies, backpacks, hats. Like, they've got a lot of cool stuff, so check them out. And they're awesome. Like, this shirt's super soft. I like the crew neck. I'm liking the color too, actually. So they're dope. Check them out. Anyway, so I've been on T for 5 months and some days. I'm not really good with update videos, as you can see. I think I'm just gonna start being fashionably late. That's just my thing now. So I know beforehand I was writing down every single time I noticed a change, and I was like pointing it out in chronological order. That's not gonna work anymore. There's just the changes I've gotten, or that happened early on, are just progressing now. Like, there's no new changes. They're all the same. They're just progressing and getting more developed, I guess you'd say. So from now on, these update videos I'm just going to do from head to toe, top to bottom, and then inside. Because it's a lot of internal. I don't know if anybody else experiences this when they're on T and they just don't talk about it, but there's a lot of internal things that go on as well as external. So it's kind of bright, that's why I'm squinty, but it's a nice day outside. So we're going to start from top to bottom. As far as my hair, yeah, I shaved it, my whole head. It's hot, and I do that pretty often in the summer. I just shave my head randomly, so there's that. But my hairline hasn't changed, really, at all. I thought it did, but it hadn't. It was just because I had shaved my head. But now that some hair's grown in, I see that it hasn't changed at all, which is cool. I've always had this little widow's peak thing, but other than that, it's not different. My eyebrows are thicker. They don't have an arch to them anymore. They're just kind of straight across, which is fine with me. I've stopped doing my eyebrows, so for a while, I used to pluck my eyebrows, like the hair down here, but they're just filling in now. Because before I just had these straight hairs, but they weren't filled in, but now they're filled in, so I'm just leaving them. They look really dark right now because I don't have any hair on my head, but they haven't gotten darker, they've just gotten thicker. As far as like my face shape, my face has gotten wider. Like, it's flat in the front, which is fine. I mean, my nose kind of sticks out, but it's flat. My cheeks, and it's kind of like expanded. My jawline is more squared off now. You're probably not going to be able to see in this lighting or camera, but actually you can. My mustache is coming in pretty dark. Sideburns, you can't really see those, but those are coming in nicely. My chin is getting more hair. My hair all over has kind of gotten darker still continuously. Going down, my neck has gotten thicker still. My Adam's apple is more prominent, and my voice is deeper. It's still deepening every month. It's just kind of just steadily dropping, which I knew it would get deep. I thought my voice was deep before I started testosterone, and now when I look back at those videos, I'm like, who is that? I just sound like a little kid talking about grown-up things. So my shoulders are broader. I've had to get rid of a lot of clothes lately. I've just grown out of them, especially shirts. My shirts that I used to wear pre-T are getting really tight around my arms, like really tight. So I've gained a lot of weight. I weigh 150 now, and before I started T, I weighed 125. So I've put on some weight, but it's like, it's distributing pretty well. I'm not unhappy with any of my weight gain and wear. It's just kind of frustrating growing out of clothes so fast. Going down, my chest has kind of gotten a little bit smaller and more defined up here. Like, this is more muscle than it was. And my sides have kind of straightened out more. so I don't have as much of a dip. I'm always going to have a waist, but I don't have like the huge dip that I had before, which is really good because that was making me pretty dysphoric. My legs, my thighs have gotten a bit more thick, like muscle thick, and the hair is a lot thicker on them. My leg hair has come in really nicely. Oh, my calves have always been thicker. I feel like just some odds and ends. I feel like my hands have gotten a bit wider. My veins are kind of popping out everywhere, which is cool, on my arms and stuff. My arm hair has gotten thicker. So those are like the main external changes. I'm about to talk about some bottom area, but my dick has gotten bigger. There's no other way to put that. I know that like it's weird talking about it. For some people it might make them uncomfortable. But for me, before I started testosterone, my dysphoria for my top has always been really bad. I want top surgery, but my dysphoria for my lower half was worse before T. And now that I've had some growth there, I've gotten a little bit less dysphoric about that. And I think as far as like phalloplasty, that's really complicated surgery, and there's a lot that goes into that. Not saying that in a perfect world, if the surgery was 100% successful every time, I wouldn't get it. It's just there's a lot of risks that come into play with that kind of surgery, and I'm getting more comfortable with what I've got right now down there. And I know that a lot of trans guys, the longer they're on T, the more they grow, and the less they want the surgery down there. But everyone can kind of change their opinion on surgery and stuff as they go through life. It's not like it's a very like taxing process. So I don't want to just rush into anything. I'm going to take my time as far as it goes with bottom surgery, but I do know that I want top surgery. But I can say that since 5 months on T, that dysphoria has kind of gone away, or suppressed at least, and I'm 100% comfortable now with anything to do with it, so I still struggle talking about it, but mentally I'm at a lot better of a place with that. As far as like internal things going on, my hunger has spiked again. I'm eating a lot more, and I'm hungry a lot more throughout the day. Before I could go longer periods of time without eating, and now I just get really bad hunger pains. My menstruation has completely stopped. I don't have any phantom cramps or anything like that. I don't really feel like my mood fluctuates according to that anymore, as far as my mood fluctuates according to my shot dates. If I'm a little bit before my shot, I get kind of irritable and cranky, and the day of my shot and a few days after, I'm more like chill. So that's still kind of adjusting, but I think it's less of a mood change now than it was when I first started T, and I just had that low dose, and now I have a higher dose. And I will say, like, aside from changes, so when I up my dose, I switched to smaller needles, and they hurt less when they go in and inject, but they have more of a risk of popping off or pinching the skin or losing some T. So I went back to the 22 gauge needles. They're bigger and they hurt a little bit more, but they get all the T in, and there's no risk of like popping, like the top popping off and losing T. I don't want to do that. That happened before, and I'd rather just stick to the bigger needles and more of a soreness the next day or the next few days. I just have to like make sure I rub out the shot spot so it's not as sore and stiff. But other than that, there haven't really been any noticeable changes. Just everything's progressing further along. I know I've talked about all these things before being changes, but like I said, I think now I'm at a point where I've had the changes that I'm going to have, at least within the first year, and now it's just the changes are advancing to where they're more noticeable. So that's it on T so far. I know this video seems shorter, but that was it. So thank you for watching and staying tuned, and 6 months is coming up, so hopefully I'll be more on time with that video. But changes are happening, and I'm liking them. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.